Hi everyone, how are you? Today I have a little tutorial for you guys. I know that a lot of you are setting up your journals for the new year, and I thought I'd show you how I add extra elastics to my TN so my notebooks are actually flush with the leather. Here you can see my tabs, but actually the notebooks don't hang over the leather cover, and I actually like to have my notebooks in separate elastics because I do like to take them out to write so I can lay them flat. And a good way to do it could be with jumping elastics that you can attach your notebooks together. But if you like to write without the cover, it means that you need to dismantle your whole system in order to do that. So this way each notebook has a separate elastic and you can take them in and out pretty easily. So what you are going to need is some elastic. I use the repair kit by the Traveler's notebook or the Traveler's company. I have the one that it says spare colors, and I already use most of them, so I only have this mustard color left. I will also be using an extra elastic. This one is a rubber band, but you can use the extra band or extra elastic that they usually provide with your covers. A leather cover, TN, or any other brand. And I have some scissors here and something that helps me pass through the elastic. So I will use these tweezers that have a very sharp point here. So the way that the Traveler's notebook works is you have two slits here and two inner holes where you have a shorter elastic. So we are going to work with the already made holes. We are not going to perforate it, and actually I'm not going to take this apart. I know that some people do take it out so it lays a little bit more flat. You can do that and then you can tie the knot, but I prefer just to leave it here. I think it's just kind of one of the characteristics of the Traveler's company, so I like to leave it. But again, you just can take this one out if you want to. You take your elastic. I don't pre-cut it because it's easier to cut it once you know how much you need. So we are going to pass through, first of all, not through the slit here, top slit, through the hole, because you want your knot to be on the shorter elastic rather than the longer elastic, because it's going to make your writing experience uncomfortable. So you're going to pass your elastic through this first or second hole here, the inner one, from the outside. And this is why I like to have the tweezers, because it helps me pull it through, and I also like to trim it a little bit so it's easier to pass it. If you have shorter nails, it helps, but it's not too difficult to get it in. Once you have it in, you're just going to maybe pass it halfway through the notebook, somewhere along this knot here. And then what you're going to do is you're going to grab your elastic, go here to the upper slit and pass it till the other slit. So now you have your extra long elastic, but we need to tie them together. So now again, from the outside, you are going to pass it through the inner hole here. And again, you can cut the other end if you want to. Okay, and now we have our inner elastic and we're going to tie a knot. You can make it very tight or just leave it with some slack. I prefer to not do it super tight, because if you do it super tight, it's going to pull the leather here and probably you just get this kind of inner shape. So we are going to just tie a simple knot, double knot rather. Once you have it, I like to cut it pretty short. That is just personal preference. But if you like to leave it a bit longer in case you need to adjust it, you can also do that. So now what you have is you already have your 2 long elastics here, but what if you want extra elastics? So you're going to grab one of these zip folders that you can also find from the Travelers Company. And now with this extra elastic that we have, again, you can use this one or any other that you have. You're going to put it here right in the middle, and then you're going to pass it through the both elastics that we have. So now we have 3 elastics here. I usually leave this one the middle. And now, for example, let's add some inserts. One here. Let's keep adding a thicker one here. And an extra one at the back with your 3rd elastic. And this is the little bookmark. And now, again, these are tabs, but maybe I should grab another one that doesn't have tabs. But the notebooks themselves are flush with the leather, and the only overhang that you have is the zipper one, because, well, that always is there. But yeah, this is how I use my traveler's notebook, always adding extra elastics, because again, if one of the beautiful things about this system, and probably the most annoying thing, is that it doesn't lay flat if you want to write. Usually your notebooks will close, so I like to take them out to write with them. So that's why I prefer this system rather than having just your elastic that connects all your notebooks together, because if I want to take one out, it means that I need to take 2 out or 3 out, depending on how you have it set up. So this way you only need 2 extra elastics here, and you can again adapt it. And even maybe you can even try to put a 3rd one here. I've never tried it, but if you take this little metal clasp, maybe you can add a 3rd one. Let me know if you try and it works. Again, if I don't have the tabs, this is just flapped with my flush with my cover. So this is the way that I don't get any overhang with my notebooks. So I hope it was useful for you guys. It really changed the game for me when I discovered this hack. So yeah, I hope it changed yours too.